Hello there. I've changed my shirt. This is a new recording session. Okay, let's try and figure this out. Let's see.
And here are our sows.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you...
Okay, okie dokie. Now, let's see. Aha.
There, this door is slightly raised.
Nice.
Elementary.
I can't
While
believe
I
how long
prepare
that
our
took.
experiment, could you find me 2 knives? A small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife, with a large, sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones and to cut through the thick skins. Then find me a long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick blade.
Fine, Holmes, but I'd like to tell you about Hardiman. Do you know that he prepares his kebabs himself, and...
That he owns butcher's tools and uses offal? That's obvious, Watson. Pray, take my magnifying glass and my rule and get started, Watson.
Yeah, I don't think he has the confidence to really do that sort of thing. Okay.
With the rule, I must find a large...
Let's see.
Size, 13 inches.
Nice.
Thanks to the magnifying glass. Large size.
Okay. Okay, I'll take this and take that. That'll do. I think that's about right. There you go.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
Honest. And let's actually check to see what he's after. Butcher's head. Walk away. What did he say? Dialogue? Let's pray. Let's see. You're sharp. James Hardiman. Possible prepare. Find me a long knife, at least 13 inches long. No shore that's sharp and has a thick blade. So.
Size, 11 inches.
Okay.
Size, 13 inches.
And has a sharp.
Large size. Large size.
Okay, so I would say that would be one of the ones he's after. Perhaps you...
Fragments of cartilage.
Okay. Maybe he's after multiple knives, perhaps.
Fragments of cartilage. No, Holmes only needs 2 knives. Here are the knives
There
you
we
asked
go.
for.
Apologies.
Be careful, they're awfully sharp. Holmes, I must say that this experiment is making me rather uneasy, comparing animal heads to these poor women.
Chill out, Holmes,
You're right,
honestly.
Watson, but this somewhat shocking experiment may help to end this massacre and save other victims, you can be sure of that. Look, these pigs' heads are still bloody, which will suit our experiment perfectly. I have a pocket knife and a scalpel with me. With the 2 knives you just brought me, we have a similar array of weapons as those probably used by the killer. We saw 3 types of throat wounds on the deceased attributed to this man, those intended to slit the throat, those intended to decapitate, and the more superficial yet mortal wound that led to the death of the unfortunate victim in Dutfield's yard, Miss Stride. With the help of these 4 knives, we are going to try to recreate these wounds on the
What sort of
pigs' heads
profession are you
and
looking
see
for?
what we can
Something precise
establish
and clean?
about the weapon or weapons used. We may also be able to rule out Miss Stride as a victim of the killer of the other 3.
Okay. So. Select the knives. Okay. How do I... With the help of the four knives, reproduce the head's wounds, determine or used by Jack the Ripper. Click on the head. It's a cloak pot service once you selected. Okay.
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to...
Okay, so that looks fair. That doesn't look refined.
This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade.
Okay.
This pocket knife is very sharp, but its blade is too thin.
Okay, so scalpel. No.
The wound is too shallow.
This big guy. Ah, there we are.
Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh. Elementary.
Okay.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
I think I know how.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae.
Okay. Too weak.
With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow. This knife with a long blade... With a scalpel, the wound...
Let's see this fella.
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae.
No, so whoever did this had the right tools for the craft.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend. Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow is given. The scenario in question is that of Dutfield's yard.
I think I know.
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh.
Okay.
In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin.
Okay.
This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice. It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp. Elementary.
Nope, there we go. Okay, let's take a look.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
Okay, so...
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae.
Okay, let's see.
Elementary.
What?
That's it, Watson, the big knife.
Oh.
With respect to the opinion of the medical examiners who noted that a butcher's knife with a long blade would have caused the eviscerations on some of the victims, we can assume, Watson, that he only used this type of weapon as it is capable of inflicting all of the wounds displayed. Furthermore, the Dutfield's Yard murder remains attributable, for the moment, to the Whitechapel killer, if we are able to explain why the murderer used his knife in a different manner. Why not go there now? We will try to reenact the killer's actions that night. Our first objective will be to clarify, one way or another, the statements of Constable Smith, as well as this Hungarian by the name of Schwartz. We must also try to find out more about the International Working Men's Educational Club, underneath which the murder took place, perhaps at the Wasp's Nest.
Again, the Wasp's
Yes,
Nest.
let's go to Dutfield's Yard or wherever, but quickly. I am in urgent need of fresh air.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest.
I wonder if Bluto's still there. Do you think? Oh, I didn't realize that at the bottom. That's bad of me. I just realized the loading screen is tells you all the places where the murders happened. Hey boy, should have known that. Yeah, as well.
Don't forget that Bluto may still be hiding here. I will try to find out more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
Understood, Holmes.
Oh, that's actually... See that sign on the top right with the wasp nest and it's got ale? That's actually wrong. I think it's wrong. Normally they have the image of like the king's head.
Hello.
They have a crown.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel. You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face. No hard feelings, eh? Join me in a glass?
Jack the Ripper.
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in all of the papers. You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have skill, that's for certain. It's a shame you use it to mask rather than discover the truth.
You better believe that I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Stride get it. Doesn't speak a word of English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station. It won't be long before I find these fellows.
Why do you say these fellows? Were there several of them?
Do you not read the papers, or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes. Let me explain.
Okay.
At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Burner Street towards Fairclough, on the side of the road where the Workers' Club is.
Okay.
A bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors, a chap and a lady are arguing.
Okay.
The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground. She falls. Bawls a bit, but not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side, but continues in the same direction. The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!" At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner who was lighting his pipe gets in on the action. He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify, and identified Long Liz Stride as the woman he saw getting thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why am I telling you all this?
In vino veritas.
I don't know what vino...
I'll take
means.
my leave then, Mr. Bulling.
That's right.
Thank you, editor, by the way. You just put the translation. Let's see.
A draft, my good man.
Okay.
Here, sir.
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the throat of a working girl in a small courtyard over there behind them big wooden doors.
Below the Workers' Club?
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
Really? What does Lipsky mean? Is it Hungarian?
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
That's interesting.
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel, we call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that girl in Batty Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant by making her drink acid. One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Is the term Lipskys used to refer to the Jews in the area, and is this club frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews even. They spend their evenings hollering, singing. I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
Oh.
And do you know the victim?
Be brutal.
No more her than any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street. They need a reason to end up here.
Okay.
Very well.
So,
Goodbye.
Cheers.
okay. This is...
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith.
Are you PC
Good
Smiths?
evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who patrols this beat?
That's me. And you work with the famous Sherlock Holmes, don't you? What can I do for you?
Yeah.
I believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time of death that the medical examiner gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I don't think I can help you.
Really? Okay, so...
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed. But it was before the murder. I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It was around 12:30 or 12:35 a.m.
Sorry, I forgot to wear a belt.
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short black outfit, a small felt hat like a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar. He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6 inches wide.
Oh, boy.
His outfit reminds me of someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't think so, no. Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely 30 years old, or even less. Say 28, or even less. 26 years old, and 5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive complexion, I would say, but once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in three-quarter profile.
Oh, is there anyone else?
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time, but wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Burner Street itself. He was listening to the song coming from the club. In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank you for having satisfied my curiosity, my friend.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
That doesn't mean that he wasn't there. Oh boy, this is getting complicated. Right, so where is the Workers' Club? Is it just along the way? Would there be a signage? Okay. Battery Street. Okay, so where was it?
Dutfield's yard. Dutfield's yard.
Tell me why it does that bit. Okay. One light source. Dark as coal.
Your interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location. Dutfield's Yards, to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder.
Okay. So, Constable. About there.
12:40 a.m. Eagle, the president of the club, enters the Workers' Club via the passageway through Dutfield's yard. He passed through Dutfield's yard.
Okay.
If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened.
Let's not get too thingy. Okay.
12:45 a.m. Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man.
Okay. 43.
12:43 a.m. Israel Schwartz passes by Dutfield's yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride. 12:44 a.m. Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, "Lipsky." The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, "Lipsky," indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable.
Oh, okay. So it was 1 o'clock.
1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz wants to enter with his cart, but the pony refuses. We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer.
Okay, that's 12:30. 12:35.
12:30 to 12:35 a.m. Smith notices Liz Stride talking to the man with the package.
Okay, the American goes for
12:20 a.m. The American leaves the Socialists Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted.
and it ends at midnight.
Midnight, the Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson.
So, sometime there.
12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot, as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
So I'm more concerned about the light. It sounds silly, but if there's only one light.
This door leads to the club for Jewish socialist workers.
Okay, so he's coming in. He'd have to go right. Would he be able to see a body?
Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground. Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist.
Okay, that's odd. Let's see.
The ground is muddy.
Okay.
Her knees and dress, they are clean. Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils.
Squeeze?
The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards.
Okay. There's no... Oh, I forgot to actually do that. Okay. Sometimes... Okay. So, the knees and the bottom of the dress and the front are clean, but the ground is dirty. She wasn't on the ground. Victim struggled on the ground. Could be. Hold on. Okay, she was killed at height. Had her back to the killer, astride, and her murderer were lying down at the mall. I don't know. I'm just clicking random. Okay, let's stop trying to be clever and be ourselves here. The wound to the neck is clean, from right slightly descending, so it was right-handed. The right hand, the bloody right hand and the wrist, because it wasn't slit. Okay, so if he had, he had her hand cut. I don't know. Okay, let's see. The murder weapon used against was okay. No, we'll figure it out. Okay. The murder was strong. He's a strong man. He was right-handed. Now we've got to sort this out because I kind of done a mess. So her hand and wrist were bloody. The cord wasn't slit. I thought that would be right. Knife use was thin. Was mezzaluna. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's get this right. So, her knees and dress, bottom of her dress at the front are clean. So, strangled. The victim was lying down. Oh, it was... oops. Okay. Astride. Oh, they actually have pictures. I didn't notice that. Oops. Okay, so... let's stop this. one more. With the murder stuck. The blow from his height. Okay, was careful. Oh, victim. That doesn't make sense.
We have two
Sorry, I
possibilities.
just
The
randomly
first
clicked.
is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but glad to have kept her client. He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson? Look at the victim carefully, Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman.
The bag of pastels, Holmes?
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes.